life is way too darn short to be stuck in fear and be wondering if you can be doing that. Hello, my dear, and welcome to today's episode. I am so excited you are here. Inside of you, there is an amazing voice that is inspiring you to take inspired action. Are you listening to that voice? How often do you allow that voice to not only inspire you, but carry you through the chapter you're in into the next chapter you are meant to be in? Let me say that slightly different, because just in case you're not following where I'm going with this. There is a voice. I call this the God within, the creator within, creation within, divinity within. There is an amazing aspect of you that is speaking to you all the time. And this aspect of you is pointing you on the path you are meant to be on. Do you allow yourself to be inspired and to go with the flow so that you can attract the things that you're meant to be attracting in your life and be in the chapter you're meant to be in? Are you willing to close chapters you're no longer meant to be in? Let me say that again. Are you willing to close chapters you're no longer meant to be in? We get stuck in these cycles sometimes of where we think we're meant to be going, but we're too scared to make the changes in order to do that. So for me, anytime I know I'm meant to be going somewhere and I'm meant to be doing something and I'm not making those changes, I'll stop and I'll ask myself, why? What am I scared of? What am I fearful of that will happen if I actually make those changes? Because when we ask the question why, we get an opportunity to hear an aspect of our being that is frozen in fear of what's to come. We also get some really deep truths of what might be happening internally for us, and we get to reparent ourselves in a different way. And this reparenting process is so crucial and so important, because when you meet aspects of yourself that are in fear, you get to reparent those aspects so that they feel safe. And that's the key thing. When you don't feel safe, you're not going to do the very thing you're meant to be doing, even if spirit is literally banging the message right in front of you, bouncing the message in front of you, yelling it at you like, here, this is what you're meant to be doing. But if you listen to the other voices that overtake the voice of inspiration, that God self within you that's saying, hey, this is the path, let's go here, because you're meant to be doing this. We're all meant to be doing something at this moment in time, but are you doing the very thing that you're meant to be doing at this moment in time? Or are you still stuck in a chapter that you were supposed to close a year ago, 10 years ago, 2 decades ago? I'm telling you, life is way too darn short to be stuck in fear and be wondering if you can be doing that. And it is never too late to start something new. And it is always important to take divine action when you are inspired to take that action. Also note that just because someone else couldn't do it, or they failed at it, or your family or your friends think you're crazy to be doing something that you're meant to be doing, you're being inspired and you're being guided to do it, it doesn't matter what they think. It does not matter. What matters is that you are following the guidance of your heart. There's a beacon that lights your path, and that beacon comes from your heart space, and that beacon illuminates the very next stepping stones on where you're supposed to be going next. It doesn't illuminate the whole path. You might be inspired by one small thing, and that small thing leads you to the next thing, leads you to the next thing, leads you to the next thing. If you choose not to do it, that is completely up to you. It might be past the window by the time you take that action, or you might be guided to something different. If you have had something that you have been wanting to do for so long and you still haven't done it yet, why are you not doing it? Why? Because you are meant to be doing it. If it hasn't left you, you're meant to be doing it. And most importantly, don't worry about the how. And yes, I'm saying that. Don't worry about all the how. Take the one step, and then go take the second step, then take the third step. Each step you take will unlock the next step. And sometimes we focus so much on the how that we're focusing on step 25 instead of just focusing on step 1. We can eliminate many steps because we're following the energy of the divine. And when we follow the energy of the divine, we actually get to take shortcuts. And I'm going to say it very specifically like that. We get to take shortcuts, and I call that folding time. We get to take shortcuts on our journey that are direct paths to the very thing that we're meant to be doing next. So with that being said, what are you inspired to do? And are you ready to take action on that inspiration and start folding time and living your most divine path? Because you, my friend, deserve it. Now, let's move on from there. If you are stuck in fear because you're just like, but it's just too overwhelming to do it, here are 3 simple things that you can do to get yourself unstuck from the fear that you are in. Ask yourself, who can help you with this problem? And then contact them, because that's really important. Sometimes when we get an expert involved, and an expert doesn't have to be someone in that profession, you might get inspired to contact your friend, and that friend knows someone that can help you. So know that when we get in front of someone that can help us, it will allow us to fold time. And for me, when I knew I wanted to start my business and I gave myself a year deadline, and I was 6 months into it, I was like, I'm not anywhere close to starting to do this. So I need someone to help me. And so I hired someone to help me start my business so that I could go on and start what I've been dreaming about for years. And I just had to take the leap of faith to do it. The next thing you can do if you're stuck in fear is ask yourself, what is the opportunity cost if you stay stuck in fear? So what does that mean? If you choose to stay in fear, how will that impact the rest of your life? How will that impact your chapter that you are in? And when you discover how that impacts you, does it make you want to take action? Does it make you want to do something differently? Because you are ultimately the person that's in control of your life and no one else is. And so you get to decide what that looks like. And yes, we all have different responsibilities and different things that are happening in our life, but there is always a way. There is always a way, and there is always a way to figure out what you're being guided to do. And sometimes that means giving up things that might not feel good to give up, but it's necessary to do that So, for example, when I started my career, my husband and I were engaged when I started my business. And so I had a new opportunity to work part-time in my previous career. And it scared my husband to death when I told the person no, when I told the company no, because I was guided to do this next step. And if I said yes to them, I would be saying no to my dream. And that I knew that I would just get caught up in the cycle and it would never, ever end. And so there's always an opportunity cost to every decision you make. And so you have to be very, very clear on what that opportunity cost is so that you can decide how important that goal is, how important that dream is, how much do you want it to come into fruition, because you deserve to have it if you've been inspired to create it. And you are an amazing creator, my friend. The third one is to meditate on and visualize what the outcome will be like, what your life would be like if you were to bring this desire into actualization. So if you brought it into full real life, you would visualize what that would look like, how you would feel, and imagine yourself doing these things. And you can visualize this for a week, every day. You can visualize it for a month. And as you're visualizing it, give yourself permission to feel deep emotions of gratitude and appreciation and acceptance. Because when you move into that mode and into that vibration and into that frequency, you have the opportunity to click yourself, pull yourself, unstuck yourself from the place that you are frozen in fear. And so by visualizing, you'll be able to see the outcome of taking those steps. And again, we're not worrying about the how, you're just visualizing as if it's already happened. And that sends signals out into the universe that says, hey, I'm ready for this. I love this. Please send me people. Please send me experiences. Please send me synchronicities for this to happen. I'm ready for it. And so it will start to unlodge some of the fears that are lodged within your energy field, release them to be transmuted into love and light, and make space for the desire to manifest itself into real life. And it's magnificent when it does it because you open yourself up to new opportunities. So again, are you willing to say yes to the universe and say, I'm ready, I'm gonna do this, let's do it, let's go. I'm willing to look at what I'm fearful of, and I'm willing to say yes to the desire, and I'm willing to take inspired action. I hope you're willing to do it because the world needs you. The world needs your love, the world needs your light, the world needs your blessings and miracles. No matter how small you think there are or how big they are, the world absolutely needs your energy, and it requires your energy because we are working as a collective. And as a collective, we get to support true transformation in our society, in our community. And so by you actually saying yes to your dreams, you send out a signal to other people saying, yes, you can do it too. And then also, depending on what that dream is, sends out another ripple effect of positive change in the world as well. So, all right, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Go start manifesting, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please make sure you like and subscribe. All right, bye.